Welcome. What's up, y'all? We back on the Humble Pie Podcast. I'm your host, V's.
It's your boy Wallace.
Wallace B123. And we have a special guest in the building.
Yeah. Miss OutWeigh.
Rissa, what's happening?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Thank you for being here today.
For sure. I appreciate you having me.
It took a couple weeks to get this episode. We appreciate this for happening. It's Memorial Day weekend. We in the building. Wallace, how you been, man?
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. I'm just be living.
You living. La vida loca. As
One
usual.
day at a time. 1 mile at a time in my Vin Diesel voice.
What they on Fast Furious 10?
They need to give it up.
They on like 14 at this point.
They need to give it up at this
They need
particular
to-
point.
yes.
Man, I ain't seen one since like Tokyo Drift. What number was that?
They went, that's
That
two.
was 1.5.
Right. Definitely 1.5.
That was
I
1.5,
know
and they could have
None of
kept that.
Because none of the actual cast in that.
No, they could have
It was
kept
Bow
that
Wow
one.
and Simone.
Yeah. It's little underdogs.
If Bow Wow was in the movie, you know that shit was
It's
trash.
always trash. Is this lottery ticket? What is it? I'm watching.
All right, man. But look, man, shout out to our future sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
Nova,
Yeah.
man, you know what I'm saying? Lunchable, Pepsi, Nike, Jordan.
We some sponsor whores. We'll take whatever we
You
can
know what I'm
get.
saying? Hanes, you know what I'm
You know what
saying?
I'm saying?
These draws. But also, man, I just appreciate everyone who has subscribed to the podcast. We're at
Big
130 plus subscribers, man.
Right.
God is
Let's
working,
go.
man. I'm forever grateful. I don't take it for advantage. Anybody, if you watch 5 minutes, 10 minutes, man, make sure you like, comment, and share this post.
Oh, yeah.
This video, man, we're going to have some gems coming from Rista today. But yeah, man, I just appreciate the support. Also, make sure y'all hop on my boy podcast as well, Facts Never Feelings.
Facts never feelings.
F&F boy in the building, man. So
Right.
we working, man.
The original
we out
F&F,
here,
huh?
yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always show love to my big bro over there. But we're going to get back to Rissa. Let the folks know where they can find you, your social media handles.
Oh, yeah. So I'm only on IG.
Okay.
Riss Groovy, RSGROOVY_. Miss OutWeigh Variety is there. That's it.
OutWeigh.
OutWeigh variety.
OutWeigh. That's going to be in the screen right here.
Mm.
OutWeigh Variety.
OutWeigh variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on my hat. You can't really see it. But
Yeah, that's a
it's
dope
on
hat.
there.
You can take it all there and see the hat, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
It's on the,
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Okay.
work.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. You got a lot going on.
You messing up a feng shui.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a lot going
feng
on.
shui.
I had to
You-
tuck the hair underneath.
You have a feng shui home. So I want to get things started, man. Only when you understand your gifts, then you begin to walk in your purpose.
That's right.
Oh, wait, damn. Bars. Wait. Is that an OutWeigh Wednesday?
That's the OutWeigh Wednesday. So Rissa,
Yes.
first of all, it's a beautiful quote. But I want to know, just from that, what do you may feel your purpose may actually be?
My purpose is what I bring forth every other Wednesday.
Okay.
Encouraging people, speaking life into people, life coaching, just teaching people that there's a reason and there's purpose in being optimistic about life.
Mhm.
Things get bad, life gets bad, things become bogus all the time. But, at the end of the day, the grass is still going to come back green.
Wallace, what's your purpose, man? What you think you was put here for, man?
Man, I'm still trying to find my purpose,
Okay.
man. My biggest purpose is just living and showing people, through what I do.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? How to live. My thing is I'm a game giver. So anything that I'm doing, anything that I'm building or putting together, I'm not the one that you ask me about it. And I'll be like, just go to Google and you know what I'm saying? No, if I'm doing this shit,
Uh-huh.
it don't matter what it is, I'm gonna break the whole shit down to you. Now, if I'm gonna give you the game, it's up to you to do, what you want with it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The Wallace Wikipedia. You know what I'm saying?
So
You
your
got that
purpose
right.
is teaching.
Pretty much.
You got
Pretty much.
the gift of teaching.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
Teaching, guiding.
game
you know what
giver?
I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Game giver.
All right.
I think purposeful living is important. And I
Absolutely.
think, like Wallace said initially, like we don't really know at first. You know what I'm saying? I think even coming to this space on the platform with the Humble Pie podcast was me developing or walking in my purpose.
Right.
And what's even crazier is that might be scary sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Or scoot up. That might be scary sometimes to actually walk in your purpose because then you become overly critical
Right.
of things, or if you're expecting things to go this way or look that way, we might become fearful. So what I try to do in some of my content is create an identity of failure, but not to be afraid of the failure. because that's going to help mold you and build your character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If shit was just easy all the time and if everybody had $1 million in their bank account, what would we be working toward? You know, we don't want to make it about money essentially, but we all want to have some form of success in our lives.
Right.
Those who do find purpose. So if you haven't actually found your purpose yet, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
It is okay.
But continue to move in that space where you are open to the possibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Have to be open.
Yeah.
Have to be open.
And it's definitely okay to fail too.
Absolutely.
Definitely okay to fail.
See the thing.
Go ahead.
The thing is, you are only failing when you stop at what you failed at.
Yeah.
That is the only way for you to become a failure.
Right.
Because the thing is, we learn and we grow on different levels, different scales, depending on where we are in our lives. And just because something didn't work then does not mean you failed in that area.
Right.
That just means that you tried something. It wasn't for you at the time, or maybe it's not for you. So you go to something else. You go to what's next.
Those experiences matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say that, we don't take lessons, we only get lessons.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And when you take the lessons from said loss, then you learn.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you can execute, going forward. I mean, even as a young kid, as a baby, like right now, we're not going to go touch the stove.
Right.
Because we know it's hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you was 1 or 2 walking around with a diaper on,
right,
you didn't know that. You
right.
had to be learned or taught that. So that's
exactly.
kind of how we can look at the word failure. You know what I'm saying? It's not final.
Right.
It's not absolute. It's just part of the process. You know what I'm saying? So don't be discouraged when it comes to things like that.
Don't be discouraged.
A wise man learns from their failures, but a smart man learns from the failures of others.
Ooh.
All right.
Tabernacle.
Here we go.
Tabernacle.
We're going to go ahead and give him that one.
So, y'all, I want to spin this because we kind of, y'all ready today. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had something that was going to get y'all a little stuck. But, God, I got some pros in the building, but, you know me, I'm over-prepared per usual. So, I want you, Arisa, if you can, just tell us about any fears that may have been associated with actually walking in your purpose. So we talked about fears a little bit, and we talked about purposeful living. So if there's anything that may have, since you've been on this journey, have you experienced some fears in that?
Absolutely. We all experience fear. I think probably my biggest fear to shift into Wisdom Wednesdays and speaking and, life coaching and giving encouragement talks was the way people would receive it, right? And that's me putting other people's fears in my space.
Okay.
So I became fearful based off other people's fears. And we do that often. So that is what took me so long to get in the space to actually develop Wisdom Wednesdays. Because I was so busy worried about what if what I say might offend somebody, or what if what I say people don't resonate with? What if this doesn't help them grow? But I believe that this is my purpose, and I believe I have a word for somebody. I have a word for anybody. So whether it's for you, and you know what I'm saying, not for you, I still did my job.
Right. Facts.
So yeah, that was my fear. Yeah, that was.
So Arisa, we kind of touched on it, or Risk Groovy. You know what I'm saying?
Risk Groovy.
Groove. I want you to tell us about your brand, OutWeigh Variety. And that's OutWeigh spelled OUTWEIGH.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So elaborate on that. I know before we got into it, we was kind of talking about the play on words and why I named it Humble Pie Podcast.
Right.
So we want to give you an opportunity to tell us exactly why and how, what OutWeigh Variety is about.
Yeah. So OutWeigh Variety is the entire umbrella with Wisdom Wednesday under it.
Okay.
So OutWeigh Variety means to strategically weigh advantages and disadvantages in order to strengthen an outcome. And that definition was coined by myself.
Wow.
I made that definition.
Right.
And it came from, I was in college at the time. I was in grad school. And school be beating you, for sure. And I just realized that I was doing so much, in college, even with undergrad and going into grad school. And grad school kind of just fell into my lap. And I was just doing so much. I was here, I was there. I was doing all these different things. And I would get people say to me all the time, how are you balancing this?
Yeah.
How are you doing this? You don't drink coffee.
Mhm.
You don't drink alcohol.
Okay.
You don't do no drugs. You don't do none of this. Like, so how do you stay mentally there? Like, how do you relax? How do you know what I'm saying? How do you build yourself back up? And one day I was just sitting at my desk and I was working on my thesis, and it just came to me, and it was just like, man, it's because I weigh all my options to strengthen the outcome that I'm doing. So I choose not to go out with friends. I would choose to not go hoop because I know I have to do this homework. I know I have to do these different things, right? So that's where it came from. And then OutWeigh Variety turned into clothes. Just because I wanted to see it. Like, I wanted to see it out there. Like, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it, you know what I'm saying? And in real life. But OutWeigh Variety was never meant to just stop at clothes. And the only reason why I did clothes is because I appreciate fashion. Like, I like it. And I believe that, we speak ourselves. We speak through, what we wear.
I agree.
So that's kind of why I put it to that. But I always made sure to let people understand that OutWeigh Variety is more than just a brand. It's a motivational designer. Like, it's more than just me throwing a logo on a Gildan t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of that going on.
There's a lot of that happening. So, that's just kind of where it came from. And so from there, I just kind of grew and expanded.
That's dope, man. I think me being a person, someone who's into fashion, and so like you said, it had an umbrella, right? So you got OutWeigh Variety, Humble Pie Podcast, Facts Never Feelings, but sometimes you want it to be tangible.
Right.
We want to bring those visions to life. Right. You know what I'm saying? And to touch and say, hey, this is something that I created, something that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? So to hear that, man, that's humbling. You know what I'm saying? To hear that. So in that space, I'm in that space currently as well as creating content. And Wednesdays, I do what is kind of known as car content. Right, and we was talking about
Ain't
that
nothing wrong with that.
Hey, real quick, you know what I'm saying? That's me.
Nothing wrong with that.
But still ain't dropped the A Real Quick t-shirt.
Hey, they coming though, man. That A Real Quick t-shirts are coming, man.
Need one of those.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. But I want to talk about maybe like challenges outside of starting the actual business. Like, I think, and while he say the game giver, people will say, hey, all you do is get an EIN, and all you got to do is...
And you going to wake up with $20,000 worth of business credit.
It annoys me. You all that... Hold on, let me take a moment. Y'all that's doing that, selling these dreams, stop. Yeah, man.
Got the crap, man.
What's wrong with y'all? And me just being I'm an optimistic person, but with those type of things, it just make me very pessimistic. Like, bro, it can't be that easy to get an EIN, to start a line of credit, and then Amazon just give me $250,000. Like, it just don't work that way. Because if it did, everybody would be doing it. We from Chicago. Ain't a lick out here that we ain't touch.
Right.
Ain't a move out here that we don't get on top of. You know what I'm saying? If it's a move going, somebody in the city gonna be on top of it.
Yes.
Even if it's business credit, And if you're doing things that way, that's on you. But don't sell us a dream, because people like that have a strong following. But anyway. That was my moment.
Get that off
my
your
rant.
chest.
I've been wanting to get that out, y'all. Can't y'all tell? I'm sick of it. Man, don't worry about your credit score. 400 doesn't matter. Like, what? It does matter.
You can go get a Bentley in your business name.
Yeah,
exactly.
Come on.
They need to go ask you nothing about your personal credit.
Man, I heard a dude, man. I don't know if it's true. Now I could be wrong, but
These people
just
crazy.
in this lane, he was like, man, you can do a tax write-off on your birthday or something?
On your birthday?
Bro.
I haven't heard that.
He was like, you invite people as a party, and the expenses attributed to that party,
Oh, yeah.
tax right. Again, I'm not going to be professed to be no type of, I got my own account. I ain't finna even act like I know anything. It's just shit I be scrolling that be in my For You page.
Right. No,
You know what I'm saying? I just be like, yeah.
Depending on what the business is.
Right.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's some legit things going on here. It's 3 entrepreneurs up here, serial entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting into like the business spot. But I want to talk about, why did you actually start Wednesdays?
Why did I start?
Yeah.
So it was just on my heart. Like, it was.
Because you said it for a long time. Like, you was like, I need to do this. I need to do
Yeah,
this. But you
yeah.
was just like,
I was hesitant.
Yeah.
It was on my heart. It was on my heart.
for how long you think that you was like fighting, telling yourself, God steady tapping you on the shoulder, saying, you need to go ahead and do this. What you doing?
months,
Right.
months.
Stuff popping up in social media. You like,
Yeah, it was.
you know what I'm saying? They need me right
it was
now.
it was months, and honestly, it took for me to have a break in employment
Okay.
to take it there. And I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but working, I was in school for X amount of years, went right into work after that, so I never really had a break.
Okay.
I never really had a mental break.
Yep.
We're so conditioned to just keep going, keep going, and we don't realize that we get tired. You know what I'm saying? We think we tired. All right, I'm just gonna go lay down. But then tomorrow I get up and now I'm out for 14 hours. I'm doing something crazy, right?
Yep.
So, it took for me to have to take a break. Like it was God sitting me down.
Yeah.
Like, you need to sit down and exercise your gifts that I've given you. And it was, in the back of my mind, like you said a little while ago, like it's always about money, and we worry about money.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, okay, I got enough to be cool for this amount of months, but what's gonna happen when these months run out? You know what I'm saying? I got bills. I'm a grown woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was that.
Yeah.
It was that. And I remember the very first day that I was looking towards shooting, bringing it to life, like letting people know, like, this is what I'm gonna be doing on Wednesdays. And it was just like a fire in my stomach, like, and it was like, this is it. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like before then, like, I have friends, family, everybody, like people know that I'm gonna know what to say, like, and it's not gonna be fluffed. It's not gonna be, I'm rubbing a little cotton swab on it. It's actually me telling you real things. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm really encouraging you. And sometimes that can come off as harsh.
Yeah.
But people appreciate that about me. So, just doing that. And then when I finally brought it to life, like when I actually did my very first video, it was just like I felt a fulfillment that I never felt. Like I didn't feel it at any job. And so from there, it was just like, this is it. Like this is my growing space. This is my gift. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I was already doing it, just like, kicks and giggles here and there with friends, encouraging them through different stuff, family, that type of stuff. But this was going on a greater scale. So got to that place. Here we are.
How many times in that first video, that first night you dropped it, how many times you went back and looked at how many people looked at it? I got 2 views.
Actually, I did it. I did it.
What?
And I still don't.
Okay.
When I drop my videos, like typically my notifications are off on my phone. So when
You're different.
when I drop the videos, I just let it go and do it, because I'm not interested in seeing exactly how many people are watching it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it deeper on the inside, as like, how many people is this actually touching?
Right.
Yeah.
Like before I go and I release a video, I pray about it.
Okay.
And I say, let this touch somebody's heart. You know what I'm saying? Let this resonate with somebody. Like, let this break a chain for somebody, you know, something like that, because that's what it's about. That's what my encouragement is for. Like, I believe that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that we can walk in our purpose, but I'm going to take a humble pie moment. I'm not like that. I'm going to check.
I check at the end of the night. I do check. I'm not saying like I don't check
That's
at all.
it? Man,
Yeah, I check like later in the day.
I
Like,
guess
I don't really.
I'm such a results-driven person sometimes, and sometimes you can get in your own way like that, and you can sometimes discourage yourself.
Right.
But I think that's a beautiful thing, that you be like, you know what, I'm putting this out, and for the right person, whether it's that one person, that one view
Right.
that it touched, versus having, X amount of views or going viral,
Right.
and, it's just a 15-minute thing, and then
Right.
everybody else forget about it.
Right.
As opposed to it sticking with somebody and they can use it and apply it to their everyday life. So that's what I try to apply with my content too, and I say that all the time as well. It's like I'm speaking encouragement and life into people, but at the same time, it's like I'm helping me too.
Exactly.
Like I'm not
Absolutely.
speaking it as if I've already accomplished it.
Exactly.
It's like me telling myself, "All right, V's, let's do it."
Right.
It might hurt. You might lose some friends. You might lose some family. People might not understand. You know what I'm saying? But you
People are
still
not gonna understand.
got to do it, and that's when
Yeah.
you know that you actually moving in purpose.
Exactly.
That's what, since we're talking about
How you
purposeful,
understand that?
purposeful
Look at
living.
you.
When you start living in a purpose,
Right.
It's like things that are no longer conducive for it start to fall away. or we start to develop the strength to pull away.
Well,
Because
exactly.
sometimes we can carry people.
Mhm.
And it sounds like to me, Arista, you the strong friend that people call you. And people typically don't check on a strong friend. But
They
in
do
order
not.
for that strong friend to continue to be that, they sometimes got to let things go. I
Right.
might got to let mama go. I might got to
Right.
give up this food. I might got to do exercise more.
Yeah.
I might got to meditate. It's something
Yeah.
I actually start doing in the morning.
Right.
It's just taking a minute and just woosah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, how I'm going to attack my day.
Right.
You know, it's so important to have
Right.
that mental balance. That being mental health awareness month this month, I think I become more conscious of it.
Yeah.
And we was talking about before you got here, while it's like how men lack that vulnerability in that area when it comes to their mental health. And everybody don't come to that same space at the same time, that same revelation. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is just pursue peace.
Right.
Like it's
I'm
not
big on peace.
it's
Big on peace. I'm big on peace.
you know, it's like,
man.
and I say pursue peace because you hear people talk about happiness all the time and
Yep.
joy, but you never hear people say pursue peace.
Right.
It don't mean if somebody walk up to me and tell me I ain't gonna get in that ass, oh, I'm gonna beat that ass. Like it ain't sweet, you know.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is a peace of mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you in
Yeah.
that space, sometimes people may think they can walk over you,
Mhm.
they can manipulate you, they can use you, but really you getting strength from that.
Right.
Like kindness is a strength to me. It's
Right.
not a weakness. For someone to be the bigger person to say, you know what? Because it takes two fools to argue.
Yeah.
It takes two. It takes two fools to argue, and I
You're
don't want to
right.
be
Big
one
facts.
of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you're living purpose, you have to find the avenues and ways in which works for you. Because my way might not look like your way.
Right.
Wallace's way might not look like my way at all. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
got to do what works for you.
Right.
Because Wallace might not be okay with somebody just being like, calling him the N-word.
Right.
But I might can take that on the chin and be like, it's cool.
Right.
Be cool, King. It's all good. You know, I can probably take that.
Right.
You know, and there's different levels and different tiers to our peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My bad. I was a little long.
Nah, you good. I kind of want to touch on that a little bit too,
Go ahead.
because peace and purpose go hand in hand,
Yeah.
and people don't. You know, like you find joy in your purpose, and joy is not happiness.
No.
There
No.
is.
Is it kind of the result?
Shoot, the line is probably thick. To
Yeah.
be honest, I was gonna say thin, but the line is probably thick. You know, joy is beyond happiness.
Okay.
And where there's joy, there's also peace.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that you're at peace, but you don't have joy.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like
Facts.
Yeah, that's true.
you're struggling, like people are struggling, they're going back and forth with these different things, and they fighting all these demons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they think that they're living purposeful, but they're not even in joy.
Yeah.
So it's like those three things, like I'm big on them three things. I'm big on those. And that's again, that drives Wisdom Wednesday too. Like that
Right, yeah.
that drives my brand. That drives OutWeigh Variety.
Mhm.
So yeah, I needed to get that out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you for sharing that, man. So like,
Sure.
what's the overall? And you may have touched on it. Overall goal. Even if you don't know, you can say that as well. But with what you're doing in your niche and OutWeigh Variety.
What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
What's next? How do we take Wisdom Wednesdays to Wisdom Weeks?
Ooh, bars.
All right.
Bars.
Hold on now. You're adding on the pressure. Let me make a note. No, just like- what's next is to continue to grow, to continue to touch as many people as possible. I see great things for Wisdom Wednesday. I see great things for OutWeigh Variety.
Right.
And Wisdom Wednesday and me speaking. My passion is, speaking to adolescents. I really appreciate the adolescent years.
They need it.
College age kids, like that's my heart right there, because that is right before life get to swinging like Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
For real.
That is right before, and
for
they
real.
need the most encouragement.
They do.
And I'm speaking for everybody. If you don't like it, too bad. I'm speaking for everybody. We shy away from those age range.
Yeah.
And they are the future. Right?
I always said that. We said that.
They're the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody needs to talk to these people. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Really.
They don't have to be your cousin. They don't have to be your kin. They don't have to, You know, they need to hear something.
Facts.
And whether what they do with that information, see, I believe that you heard me. Whether it start oiling your brain right away or later, you're gonna think about it, right? I still got stuff in my mind that I hear from years ago. Somebody said something. Yeah,
I got stuff that I hear from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
like,
and
damn, now that makes sense.
Yeah, you know,
it just don't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, my whole thing is to just continue to expand with OutWeigh Variety, with Wisdom Wednesdays, and touch as many people as possible. And I want to go to schools and speak. I want to go to shelters and speak. I want to go. Shoot, I go to a prison and speak. Like it don't matter. It don't matter where I go. But I just want to be able to continue to encourage people and give a word to somebody because we all need it. That's what's next.
We got to get you on TikTok, YouTube. It's time to level up.
It's
time to level up.
That'll be
Can't
the
just
first
have
step.
IG out here.
Nah,
I've never heard that. Like I only have an Instagram. So you an OG social media person.
See, the thing is, I'm not.
Yeah. Elaborate on that. Why you only have Instagram?
I ain't gonna hold y'all. I really hate social media.
Most of us do.
I honestly don't like it for real.
Okay.
Like, and it's.
What you don't like about it? We talked about that with our last guest.
I'm trying to shake that, but it's just so much. It's so food. Like,
it's all the fake shit.
Yeah, it's just so much.
And to some extent, you have to give some fakeness. Now, in where we are, we're content creators.
Right.
At this particular point, it's a job.
Correct.
It's the job.
Correct.
It's the only way to get our platforms to where they need to be.
Exactly.
For them to be seen and heard. So I get you with you like, man, this shit.
Yeah,
but at
like
the same time, it's like I gotta participate a little bit, so these people can get what I got going on, and they can hear me and they can see me. So I get it.
Yeah, but you're right though. I mean, So I do. I want to. I mean, and I have other social medias. I just don't use them. I just don't use them for real. So I know that I need to get the TikTok and the YouTube and all that because I need a TED Talk. I got something to say. So I gotta expand. But it's coming though.
All we doing is repurposing content, just taking it from one platform to the next.
The next one,
for real. It's true. Like social media, we talking about like as far as it being like difficult to be consistent. And what I do hear about people who have had success on these platforms is consistency. Right. That's the one thing I can agree with. I know I was getting down early when I was talking about what the people be saying, but I feel like consistency and quality matters with what you're putting out. So I guess that I can understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to pull back a little bit from it, you know what I mean? And doing the podcasting and journalism and documentary, that's what we're doing. You talked about speaking to prisons and the youth and college graduates. I've always said it was way back the second episode we ever did, Wallace and I. Well, the first episode him and I did together was talking about generational curses and giving back and finding ways to help the youth. You know what I'm saying? Because our experiences don't have to be their demise. The stuff we went through, our experiences should help them, and they should not falter or to things that we could help them avoid. We can't make them listen. You know what I'm saying? Because Wallace even said before, like, hey, you can teach a child which way to go.
Right.
You can tell them, hey, go this way home, or don't do this or don't do that. And they're going to do ultimately what they want to do. Absolutely. But we at least want to have those guidelines there and those tiers that they can work toward. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Life ain't hard. I know that sounds cliche. But I don't feel life is hard. I think humans or people, we make it difficult.
Yeah, we do.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We make it difficult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like the game of basketball. You say you hoop. Wallace and I play ball. It's like, it's a simple game.
Yeah.
It's a simple game, but once we do the hard shit, make it hard, then it becomes a difficult game. Then it becomes hard to watch.
Right.
So life is easy until you start throwing in crossovers and making the extra pass and jumping and throwing behind your back and doing shit that's really unnecessary.
Man. Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just there you go. Keep life fundamental.
Yeah.
Don't be a bounce pass of communication. You ain't got to throw a no look because we not talking. You know what I'm saying? It's non-verbal communication. You feel y'all following me?
I'm following you.
You know what I'm saying? I know I'm using the basketball, but stay with me.
Hey, I'm here. I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they picking up what you putting down, but I hear
we don't want the no look passes, aka non-verbal communication. We want the bounce pass. We want the chest pass, something we can see coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's important when communicating with the youth, communicating in life, and just in general.
Right.
Like, be able to communicate.
Right.
And effectively listen.
Yeah.
You know, because listening doesn't involve responding. You know what I'm saying? Active listening doesn't involve responding. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm saying that, I'm working on that too, you know, in my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Being a better listener and communicator. You know what I'm saying? Because we get in relationships, or before we get in relationships with people, that's one of the things that, for me, may be a deal breaker.
Right. Yeah.
Like a woman, like a deal breaker for me is a woman who gotta say something every time. like, and when I mean gotta say something, I'm not saying a woman supposed to be like a church mouse. I mean, just have to be confrontational.
Right.
Is the word I'm looking for.
I do not like confrontation.
I'm segueing into our topic for the day. Y'all saw how I did that? I've been practicing, y'all.
Smooth criminal.
Deal breakers.
Yeah.
Do we have them? What are they? Let's unpack. So I'm gonna shoot it to my man Wallace. He's been a little quiet today. He had a long day.
I'm going with the flow. You know what I'm saying?
The flow.
I do what the flow.
Flow out the deal breakers.
I'm finna get to it because on the rice, everything is easy for Wallace. So Wallace, I want you to. Let me see. I gotta make this a little hard for him because he gonna be too with. Oh, 1 + 1 = 2, man. All right, Wallace. What are some deal breakers? I want to say, you know what? I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm gonna make it simple because I can't make it difficult for you anyway. What are some deal breakers that stuff you just won't deal with? And then we ain't gotta be just talking about relationships. We can just be talking about deal breakers.
What other deal breakers? You know,
it could be business wise. Hey, you come to the table. Hey, I want 25%.
Well, it all comes back to the same thing for me.
Okay, see, told you.
Just respect. That's it. Just
deal breaker.
Just respect. Respect me as a human being. Respect me as a man, and understand that I'm just not going to tolerate disrespect.
Right.
As soon as that happens, the deal is broke. Now, granted, everybody got their own level of disrespect. Some people threshold for disrespect is much higher than others. But also, I'm a person who pays attention and watches the world and sits back and watch. I see the reason why people go through so much difficulty because their threshold for things is too shallow. I mean, not shallow, but too high.
Yeah,
it's too high. So you sit back and you accept disrespect, and then at the end of it, you turn around and say, "I can't believe they did that to me." After you just accepted that,
they've been doing it
7 times.
They've been doing it all week.
They been did it. The first time you should have said, "Damn, I can't believe they did that to me." It should have never been a second time.
Right.
Sometimes might be a second time for a specific reason, but it should have never been a third or fourth.
Yeah. So risk groovy. Let me hear about some of your deal breakers in relationships. Like, hey, when I'm in a relationship or if I'm looking to date somebody intentionally, what are some things you just ain't gonna go for?
Hygiene.
Bar.
We're going to start with hygiene.
Wash your behind.
Brush your teeth. That's the hell. We're going to start with hygiene.
Right,
we can start
fingernails. Ooh, it ain't my turn. Go ahead. I'm going to go last.
Yeah, hygiene. Yeah. And I understand we all come from different places, different households, things like that. So you might not have been taught that cleanliness is next to godliness, but you're going to find it out fast over here. Because, I got a little OCD going on. And I just can't. Like, especially at the very adult age that I'm at now, it's just like.
At my big age.
Yeah, my big age. It's just like.
Going out now. We had a big age.
Yeah, like, at my big age, it's just like, whew, yeah, I can't with that. Yeah. But, aside from that, I'm gonna have to go ahead and jump on that respect thing. Like, you gotta respect me.
That's big.
Because I give out respect to people I don't even know.
Yeah.
So if I'm allowing you in my space to know me and you disrespect me, you better find something safe to do. Find something safe to do.
Right
don't do that.
Find something safe to do because respect is free.
Yeah.
And it's very easy.
Easy.
It's very easy.
You can give a bum on the street.
Yeah. It's very easy.
Is that something that start at the crib? You think people learn respect at the crib, like when they first being brought up?
I think that's the baseline.
Yeah, you know how you meet somebody like, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think that's the baseline, but people also turn into their own selves as they grow older.
Yeah.
So because you've been in, and have you ever met a person's parents like?
Right. Yeah.
Wait, you got two of them?
Yeah.
You got a mama and a daddy?
That's the one. That's the one. Y'all sit down and eat dinner together?
Right,
man, hold on.
Every day.
Hold on.
Woo. I was just so glad I'm not alone in this space.
Y'all don't know y'all son. This nigga is wild.
Man, listen. June something else.
Teachers do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, these your parents? That's
like,
true.
No way. I thought you came from a broken house.
Yeah.
But but that just goes to tell you, like, once you out of that framework of the home, and you get to that space where you hit a certain age. I always like to use 16, 17, somewhere around that, where you start to realize, like, I kind of got some freedom. And in your mind, you got the freedom to choose what you want to do, say what you want to say, and all that other stuff, and you choose to be disrespectful. You choose to be the person that you becoming, or whatever the case may be. Might start earlier than that. I ain't no psychologist, but just based off of my observations of people, it could start at home, but it's up to the person, the individual. Because some people ain't changed since we was kids.
Yeah.
Some people have not changed. Like the same kids that was wilding out in class and all that other stuff. Right now they wilding out in the street or in jail or doing, some people just haven't. You think people grow up. That's what we was taught when we was kids. But a lot of times we see that people are who they are for a very long time.
Yeah.
Unless they choose to change that.
Right. It's definitely a personal choice. So, like, what's y'all tolerance levels as it relates to, like, compromise? Deal breakers, right? Like, what? So you were saying, like, respect and hygiene. So when we get in relationships and stuff like that, we try to, compromise, right? So if maybe I like takeout or fast food 5 days a week when we get together, hey, and you more of a healthy person, hey, babe, let's cut back on that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing. You can still have your cake and have a little something, but don't overdo it. So is it like levels to these deal breakers? Like, are you willing to work with someone who may start off in a relationship while it's as kind of edgy, a little sassy, so to speak? Because again, we're not telling women to just tuck their tails, right? That's not what we're giving out. It's just basically, you talked about it too, inherited respect. Like, I'm just a person that moves in that type of space. Right. But sometimes women get to a space or have been in a space of so long of hurt and angst and always word misery, but let's just call it trauma that they haven't healed from, that when they get to the next situation of intentional dating with a man or a woman with a guy, it's like we're quick to say, you ain't finna do me like that, because that person from their past, without you even knowing, the no-look past, right, did to them. So we live in these spaces and beginning of relationships now, and we talked about purposeful dating, intentional dating, that sometimes consciously or subconsciously we bringing those traumas into our new situations. Yep. So we're more short patient. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or, the last girl I was with, she texts and FaceTime me all the time. I ain't really, so first time your new girl FaceTime you, got attitude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe it was some trust issues there. You know what I'm saying? And when we in relationships, trust is a big thing, and you got to have it. But sometimes people cheat.
So
that's my third deal breaker, by the way. Trust.
The carryover of insecurity.
Yeah. I kind of want to
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You got it.
So this is probably gonna ruffle some feathers.
Ruffle them.
But how you said women, the trauma, and then they get in a relationship and they anxious and that type of stuff. That is not fair. I don't think that that's fair for a woman or for a man.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just meeting you for the first time, if you are not healed, please find something else to do. Don't drag me in and make me feel like I'm the issue when I just got here.
Yeah.
You can't put off your traumas on other people. Like that is truthfully, and that's why I think that this generation with relationship is so messed up. Because everybody has these traumas, everybody has these everybody cheating, everybody doing this,
Yeah.
all this stuff is going on.
A lot of stuff just
because
unaddressed. Too.
Yeah, and it's like that's not fair for the person that you are trying to pursue. Like that's not cool. You got me sitting up here. You got me sitting up here taking weight from Elizabeth.
Yep.
Like that ain't got nothing.
Elizabeth.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Ain't had shit to do with you.
Like
But bring it to my house.
you're anxious because of this, that, and the third, and I just got here. I don't know. We have like back to communication. You have to say those things to me.
Yeah.
Like if you have past traumas about something and we're going forth to a relationship or we're communicating that we're gonna start dating, I need to know what triggers you.
Yeah.
Because if I do something that's triggering to you and now you're gonna look at me as like the last person you were dating,
Right.
listen, my ghost button is very close all the time.
Whoa, wait.
I'll
Your
get
ghost
up out of
button.
there.
So you get up out of there. Wait, what's your zodiac sign, Rissa? We need to know why you getting up and leaving so quick.
I'm gonna get up out of there.
Told people she gonna ghost them, go play in traffic, and she ain't the one or the two.
I ain't the one. I'm gonna get up out of there. I'm gonna go
I
find.
don't know. That Ghostbuster sound like she's just gonna disappear.
Her
Yeah.
phone already on D&D.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and move around until
Uh-huh.
you can address that and fix that.
Mhm.
Because I'm not about to heal a wound that I didn't even mess up.
Yeah.
That you didn't create.
I didn't create that. Like, and for the last person that did it, if you're not gonna allow them, if you're not gonna forgive them to heal that scab, like to put some Neosporin on it or a Band-Aid, whatever, then it's your own personal doing to heal that area. It's not the person that that you are now talking to do that. You mentioned a little while ago about insecurities. If I just met you, your insecurities, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me.
But some people got inherited insecurity.
But this is the
And that's
thing.
fine.
Leave that shit where it was.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to heal yourself. But I think what happens is a lot of people try to find healing in other places
Talk about
versus just actually addressing the issue. I talked about this on one of my Wisdom Wednesdays.
Break it down.
Like, you have to heal. Like, you cannot grow until you heal. If you go, you have to. Like, you can't move on.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna seem like you moving on,
Right.
but all it's gonna take is a little rock in the sidewalk to throw you off.
Yep.
And it's now you right back to square one.
Right back where you started from.
Yeah. And it's like you probably done drug this person along for X amount of days, weeks, months. They don't got that
Years.
baggage. Yeah, years. They don't have that baggage. And so now they think everything is great. They happy. They wake up with you every day. They feeling good. They kiss you with your morning breath. They love it. You know what I'm saying? But now something has triggered something, and now you change and you falling back into who you was because of who hurt you.
Right. Exactly.
You carrying hurt into this next relationship.
And you turn right back into the old.
Yeah.
Now I'm dealing with what you bring to the table.
Exactly.
From the last.
Now
one.
you putting trauma on me. Now I'm building up my own trauma. I gotta heal me and you.
Right.
No, I got to hit the ghost button.
And
I got to go. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you said a lot. And I was trying to keep up with it because I definitely want to tap into something because I'm guilty of bringing trauma into a new situation. Like, I've been guilty of that.
Yeah,
I've been guilty of that. And part of that, and people like, well, how do you heal? Healing, or what are the steps to healing, right? What are the how-tos to healing? First is understanding you have a problem.
Yes.
That's number one.
Identifying where you need to grow is the first step in healing, not what somebody else did to cause you to behave a certain way. I think that part of humble pie and accountability is where a lot of folks miss it.
Oh, yeah.
They miss it. Yep.
So they skipping the first step and going immediately into the reason you hurt them. That's the reason they acting that way.
Right.
It's because you did that.
As if it's a valid point.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's not to have those triggers
Right.
that at first, that you already have, and going to a new situation with somebody and telling them, and making them responsible for not triggering you.
Right.
No, we come to the table and we talk about that. Hey, I
Right.
experienced this. These are some areas that I may be struggling in.
Right.
Let's do it this way, or what are some ways that we can both meet at the table to work
Right.
on that? It's when we just talk about in a relationship setting, or even in friendships. I don't think friends do that often as well.
They do
I
not.
think sometimes friends, you friends, you homies, you
Right.
besties. Sometimes we fall out,
Right.
and we don't take the time to really come to the table and explain why. Because I got my reasons for not talking to you, and you got your reasons for not talking to me, but we ain't talking to each other.
Right.
So we living in this space of assumption.
Yep.
We living in this space of, well, I'm the bigger person because I ain't said it.
Right.
Because we don't care for that person's reaction, or
Right.
we don't care what they think. But I think living in that space is where we go wrong, because nothing can be accomplished if we're not saying anything.
Right.
You can't heal from what you're going through and been traumatized by not identifying it, and then when it does come up, speaking on it,
Right.
not immediately reacting to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's been a humble pie moment for me, and just every day.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
I feel that. And you know what? I would probably say over the last couple years, truthfully, that I really started to grow in that space, like what you're talking about right now. Because when I say I will hit the ghost button, I really mean that.
Yeah.
Like I don't like confrontation that much.
Okay.
That I'll cut you off. I'll cut you off. Because to me, again, that goes back to respect.
Yeah.
Like I feel disrespected. And if I feel like I have to address the fact that you disrespected me, you never saw nothing wrong with it.
Facts.
Mm.
And so now I feel like I have to overextend myself to talk about this. And I already don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Hey,
So-
I'm living in that space too.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it took me recently,
Yeah.
you know, to realize that I have to speak peace. Like I have to be able to, you know, say certain things, and how people receive it is how they receive it.
Yeah.
How they, you know, handle it after they, you know, after I talk about something, whether they address it or they don't address it, you know what I'm saying? It's for me.
Yeah.
So you talked about the first step is actually addressing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I think the next two steps is forgiving and forgetting.
Facts.
See, a lot of people think that you
I
can just
struggle with that.
forgive and
struggle
not
with
forget. But how can you say you forgave somebody if you don't forget what they did to you?
Help me, because I
You
struggle
gonna
with
care.
that.
You gonna carry it.
I
You gonna
struggle with
carry
that.
it.
Well, this is the thing. Now, I forgive, but I never forget.
I'm kind of like that too.
And with me, I'm not. But this is the thing too. I'm not a person who carries. I'm not a person who holds things. When I say I forget, means I still fuck with you. I might feed you with a long handle spoon, but we still good. But I just didn't forget. So when you come to me and you need, or you want, or you
Right.
you whether it's absorbing my energy, whether it's to talk, whether it's to kick it, I can't do that because
Right.
I didn't forget.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
so
I-
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So there's a thin line there
Yeah,
between
yeah.
forgiving and forgetting.
Yeah.
Very
See, a lot
thin.
of people say, I forgave you,
Mhm.
but then they slander you. They still slander you
See,
because
they
of what
forgave
you did.
Yeah.
You
never
didn't
forgave.
forgive them
Yeah.
because you can't forget what they did to you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that if somebody did something to you, and like you said, like, you know, you will remember, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll be a distance, you know what I'm saying? But then if something come up, then it's like, okay, I can't do that with you because we not on that type of time no more.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you don't necessarily forget, like, you know, there's a thin line there, but you have to be able to forget so that you can grow. You have to be able to forgive and forget. Like those things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And people don't really understand that. I forgave them, but then they go talk bad about them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's the part
mad
I
at
don't
them.
like. That's
You
the
know what
part
I'm
I
saying? They
don't like.
mad at they mad at you.
Once I get
Now
to
they
the
trying to
point-
build up an army team against you.
Ooh.
They don't like
let me,
you.
Let me
Not-
write down some notes so I don't forget.
Not a
to
whole
touch back
block
on-
don't like you.
Now everybody don't nobody
You
know
know
the
what I'm
situation
saying?
but y'all.
Right.
Exactly.
But now don't nobody like
Right.
how
You know
this
what I'm
person
saying?
dog you are like, damn, I
Exactly.
he was that kind of person.
Yeah.
But technically, he ain't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Technically, he ain't.
Y'all know one thing I say. Y'all correct me on this. People say it's two sides to every story. I feel like it's one side to every story, and that's the truth. But perception is reality. So I believe my truth to be this way. You may believe your truth to be that way. But talking about, and I want to touch on this, when that level of communication doesn't happen, and then a slander comes, even when you try to make that attempt to forgive, like, it's not about being victim. We're not talking about playing victim.
Yeah.
We like, hey, we grown. Like, how come we can't talk about it as grown-ups, but you got to go tell people just your side of something
Right.
to appear that you are on this pedestal of adulthood and matureness when you're really not, because you're going to give your version of things. Just think about it. Think of the court system. If what one person said mattered, that wouldn't be a prosecution and a defense.
Right.
It'll be one story told, and it'll be one judgment cast. But you have to hear ideal sides to have a conscious and educated decision based upon facts,
Right.
not feelings.
Facts.
My
Right.
brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
Criminal.
I need that. That's gonna be a sound bite. I think I'm gonna need that smooth criminal sound bite. We'll talk about it.
All right.
But yeah, man, it's just like I think we all in that getting those spaces, and me and Rissa was talking about while before you got here. That's where that separation comes in at, because you need that elevation.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm gonna leave you stuck on what you think of me, because I don't have to disprove it or prove to you that I'm no longer in that space.
Right.
Exactly.
So I can't live in that purgatory of what you think in order for me to grow.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay if you don't have friends. It's okay if your family ain't got. It's okay to let things go, to walk away from jobs. We talked about that too. Hey, you mentioned that. Hey, I went from college, undergrad to grad to working. Sometimes you gotta take a break from everything and everybody.
Yeah.
To refocus your purpose.
Yep.
To bring it all the way back to purposeful living.
Yeah.
You sometimes gotta take a step back.
Yeah.
And those type of things.
Yeah, you do.
In order to have healthier relationships with yourself and with people, those are the type of things you have to do. You got to reset.
The biggest healthy relationship is with yourself.
Absolutely.
And
that comes with forgiving and forgetting.
and it definitely comes with starting to get to the point where you move to the beat of your own drum.
Yeah.
Right.
Without even caring about, not in a careless way, but in a way of, this is me.
Right.
So if you like how I move, then cool. If you don't, that's cool too. I really don't care either way. My thing is, this is how I'm moving. Like, just say you make a certain decision and you just change up everything, and then you got the friends that fall off. They disappear. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately they wasn't going to the level you was going to anyway, so it was gonna fall off anyway.
Yeah.
So don't be mad. It's just that we weren't going to the same place, and that's okay. It's completely fine. It's
everybody ain't gonna grow at the same pace.
No. And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
They don't know. They don't understand.
They don't understand that. People don't understand your vision, so they they frown their face up.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this is my vision.
Yeah.
Right.
It's mine.
I might be colorblind. You might see colors different than I do.
Yeah.
I might think that's a yellow shirt, and in your eyes, looking at the same color, yellow might be blue.
Yeah.
So you might have a different vision from me.
Yeah.
So when you frown your face up at my vision, just understand it's like that wasn't meant for you anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
My vision is meant for people to understand the level I'm thinking on to rock with it and move with it or whatever the case may be. So if you fall off and you can't help me or I can't help you or whatever the case may be, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm not sad at you. I'm not anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now if you mad, then that's something that you got to deal with personally.
Exactly. You gotta
But
start with
That don't
self.
got nothing to do with me.
This ain't got shit to do with me.
For real.
Yeah.
And Rissa, how you saying that? A part of your Wisdom Wednesday is if it's helping one person.
Right.
It
I've done my
ain't
job.
everything ain't for everybody.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't from you or us to figure out and explain everything.
Right.
Like, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you love and respect me enough, hey, cool.
Right.
But you don't have to become judgmental and criticize in such a way in which makes you appear to be superior.
Right.
That's my problem with it.
There you go right there. Let me run back and criticize to him to other people.
Yeah.
Right.
So they can look at this situation like how I'm looking
exactly.
at it. Not how he's looking at it. Because they're not going to talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell them what I see, and I'm going to get them to agree with me so
Mhm.
I can feel better about his decision to not, fuck with me as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to build that army.
Yeah. I've personally
build that army.
experienced that. Like,
and
I had to look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, are you really like that? Like, I had to really look. Like, how would people believe this about me? And I've never been that. Like, like, and then what you do and what you come to realization with your own, well, you must believe that shit anyway.
Right.
You must have felt like that anyway.
Yeah.
Because the first time you heard something negative or critical of my character,
you
ran with it.
Yeah.
You didn't come to get the facts.
Yeah.
You just came, you came already believing it.
Right.
No benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Another one of my deal breakers. Not getting the benefit of the doubt. Because it kind of goes back to what y'all was saying about people bringing shit from old relationships.
Yeah.
By you bringing to me your issue that you had with your last boyfriend, you're not giving me the benefit of the doubt as your new boyfriend.
Right.
Right.
Now, just because I like a picture on Instagram,
Oh boy.
put some hard eyes.
Oh boy.
Hard eyes going a little too far.
No.
I put, if I like a picture on Instagram or a comment or something like that, now it's a problem because your last boyfriend cheated with a girl he was
Liking pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Insecurities.
Anyway,
so Rissa, I'm glad Wallace said that. I'm gonna segue into this question.
Yeah. Go
Is
for it.
cheating? And we're gonna wrap it up soon, but this has been going well. So Rissa, is cheating? And while somehow you hop in after, is cheating actually a part of a relationship?
A cheating is not supposed to be a part of a relationship.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be, but the way things are today in society, it is.
It is. So it is a part of cheating, is what you're saying, Wallace. What's your take?
no, I don't think
A part?
I don't think it's a part.
Mhm.
I don't, well, I'm with her.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to be.
It's just one of those things that kind of.
It's become a norm.
It's a norm. It's the cool thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It's a stupid thing.
It's what's in right now.
So are there different? Because y'all just so smart. So are there different levels, levels or tiers to cheating? Like, for example, do we constitute heart eyes on Instagram posts as cheating versus actually going to lunch with secretly? Like,
secretly?
Are they? I'm just saying. Are they both cheat? Like, is one worse than the other? Is how I'm trying to say it. Like, if I put some hard eyes under a girl picture and say, "Ooh, baby, you look so sexy," knowing I got a girlfriend, is that worse or less than me actually meeting up with a woman and having coffee or lunch? Like, which one is worse? Or are there different tiers?
So let's define what cheating is.
Talk about it.
In my opinion, cheating is doing things with a person that you have interest in that you would not do in front of your significant other. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you're doing things behind your significant other's back. Now, that could be you got a fake Instagram page and you hard out everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
It could. It also could be.
You got a lot of time on your hands.
But
people be doing it.
But that's the thing. You don't even have to have a fake Instagram page. You could just not be friends with your girl on there. And you just like, great. Damn, shorty, you think it's sale, my mom. You know what I'm saying? So going crazy. And then her friends pop up. Hey, you see Reggie on this
Because the friends gonna do it. Let me tell you.
Always
the friends is gonna do
Bitch,
it.
guess what? Bitch.
The friends gonna see it first. And damn, man, listen, they gonna see it first for sure.
Screenshot shawties.
Yes.
You know, iPhone got that feature. Sorry, Watts, it's not for you. iPhone got the feature. I'm fucking with it.
Let me see. This might be a whole Android feature that you iPhone users.
Right. It has a feature. And some of these women phones, fellas, do this. You can ask your girl, go through her screenshots.
Oh, man.
It separates the screenshots from all the photos.
Yeah, dude.
So you do that screenshot in your phone.
That's gonna tell it all. It's like a book up in there.
You know what I'm saying? It tells the story, but y'all didn't really say which one is worse. Or are there tiers? I ain't gonna say worse. Cheat. Because we was identifying.
Right, we was identifying
what cheating is.
That's my definition.
What? Okay.
Doing shit slick behind your back.
I agree with that definition.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So based on that definition,
this is the thing. If I look at butts while I'm with you, all right. If I'm looking at the butt while I'm not with you, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Now if we together and you be pointing out butts, and I be like, damn, yeah, that is nice. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That ain't cheating. That's our thing.
Okay.
Now if I'm choosing to like do shit behind her back and be like, me and you, we on a double date, and I'll tap you on the shoulder. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't see none. I ain't see none, baby.
Not necessarily it's cheating, but it's being, deceitful or
there you go,
shit like that. So it's a gateway. That's shit like that.
It's a gateway drug. Okay.
It's a gateway drug.
Looking at butts is a gateway drug.
Looking at butts without your girl.
Now you're in the inbox. Rissa, what you think? I mean, is it different levels? I know you was agreeing with Wallace.
I agree with the definition that he said. But honestly, at the end of the day, cheating is cheating, man. Like cheating is cheating at the end of the day. Like, some things are worse.
Okay.
I agree that some things are worse.
So there are like different levels.
Yeah, so I guess there are different levels, but at the end of the day, it all falls with the same token. Like, it's cheating is cheating.
So are we?
If you wouldn't do that while you with your significant other, like, if hard eyes, like if we sitting like this, we laid up. If you gonna turn like this, you know what I'm saying, and try to get that out there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's how far
if you don't,
that go?
like if you don't feel comfortable enough doing it in my face, then you shouldn't be doing it.
There you go. That's it right there.
There you go right
if you're
there.
not comfortable enough doing it in her face, then.
And if you is, find something safe to do.
Because the ghost button is
Right. I was just about to do it.
Find something safe to do, you know. But
we got all type of sound bites. That's but find y'all something safe to do. Risk ain't for none.
Man.
But that's what I'm gonna say. So now that we established what cheating is or what it looks like and what the behaviors might gateway to and more, are we able to forgive? I remember you was talking about forgiving and forgetting. So in that space, are we able to forgive?
What's the level? What's the level?
Huh?
It got to be the level.
So I mean, yeah, I guess it got to be the level because again, that goes back to, you know, like some cheating is more extreme than others, but I think that depends on the person, and I also don't think it's fair, even though the cheater cheated, for you to keep hollering that you forgive them, but now you bringing them through hell and high water.
Yeah, that'd be the
just
thing.
let them go.
Yeah.
Because once a person cheats, you have to rebuild. If you're planning to forgive, everything starts over.
Yeah.
That goes for trust. That goes for loyalty, honesty. We got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Because when you did that, you broke my trust. You made me feel a certain type of way. So now it's like you want me to forgive you for an action that you did. You're gonna have to put in a little more work. You're gonna have to prove why I should forgive you.
I think that's what people don't do. They're not willing to put into that work.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, I did it. You say forgive me now. That's it.
Right.
But
let's move on.
Yeah, but
that was last week.
Yeah.
the real question is, can the trust be regained?
Yeah.
That depends on the person.
Yeah.
And you have to know you to be able to say that I can forgive you for this. We can start rebuilding trust again.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what happens is now you just in a 5-year relationship with no trust. And now the cheating is here. We writing it on the calendar at this point. You know what I'm saying?
You cheat this week, you know, it gets to spaces like that in relationships where it no longer is about the relationship. It's about who's being the better relationship person.
Right.
Like, okay, this week, well, you did some bullshit, woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Well, you did woo, and then you know it's no accountability.
Right.
There's no humble pie moment. Nobody want to be accountable because he did something in 2020. Right. You know, you did something in 2021, and
it wasn't as bad as what he did in 2000.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then it's now we playing tit for tat. Now we trying to see who got the upper hand on who cheated the worst.
Now we really wasting.
Like
waste time, and we can't get it back.
Nah.
We can't get it back. We can't get it back.
But it's extremes though. But just to kind of go over it, because the hard eye cheating is different from
the date.
The date.
Yeah.
That lunch date.
Yeah.
And that lunch date is different from that hotel date.
The boom boom room.
Man, but hey, it's levels to it, and just kind of I'm trying to wrap this thing up.
What's your level? Hold on, before you wrap this up, what's your level?
Of what?
What's your level?
Right, you ain't saying
you didn't even explain your
ain't nobody asked me,
okay,
but I'll volunteer. Y'all want me to tell y'all?
Yeah, what's your level?
With cheating, with my example.
What's your level? So let's just go from hard eyes on up.
Okay, hard eyes. Again, I guess it depends on the type of person you.
We talking about you.
Specific. Okay, me.
Yeah.
So if I'm guilty of doing it, or my woman guilty of doing it,
your woman.
If she hard eye another guy picture.
Hard eye. Yeah. I'm talking about like going to the comments, not the one you just click hard. Like go to the comments, scroll through emojis,
and
click
find
on hard eye. 17 times.
Cheating? I don't think that's cheating. I just think
every
that's
shirt on, every picture he got with no shirt on. Your girl is up under the hard eyes with the tongue out.
Oh, shit. Now you trying to catch a domestic.
Water emoji.
See, you add these layers, bro. This shit.
They just emoji.
She might as well go on a lunch date.
Yeah,
they already went to the
No. Once they start talking for real, you start seeing ain't no more hard eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now she done blocked them.
Yeah, I don't pay. To answer your question, I mean, it's social media, and I think we at a big age now where we know what's acceptable and what's not.
Exactly.
Especially if you're in a committed relationship, you kind of know how to move in that space. And you can be in a relationship, and it could be publicly private as well. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like you said, I ain't got to be all on the internet, woo out the band. We talked about all that, but something like that, Wallace, yeah, that's probably gonna rub me the wrong way. That's probably gonna make me feel insecure, or it's gonna give me the damn, like you know what I'm saying. If I'm on the recipient, you know what I'm saying. If I'm the recipient of that behavior,
that would make you feel insecure.
I start I mean, that was the first word I said, so maybe yeah. I mean, if I'm unpacking it, if I'm thinking about it, maybe initially, because we're visual creatures. Shout out to Alexis Arlette. That was her phrase. I like when she said that. We're visual creatures. We see things.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not no fool. My woman, I'm not the only attractive man in the world.
Right.
As handsome as I may be. You know what I'm saying? I hate this thing. But gotta be realistic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be realistic. And I brought those things, but being someone who has cheated and been cheated on, it don't feel good either way.
Right.
Like to be the recipient
or getting caught.
Yeah, getting caught the worst part.
That's
for some
top
people,
tier.
for some people, that's the worst part, But
right.
not to dwell in that space. We want to promote healthy relationships, but we also want to unpack why we doing these things,
right? Yeah.
And why we got to these spaces because it started with communication, effective living, listening, forgiveness. Purposeful dating. Like a lot of these things we talk about here on the podcast is because we've either experienced it and we want to help somebody. Like
understanding what you want and when you dating.
Yeah.
We at a big age now where you should know what you want.
Come on.
If you don't know what you want,
come on,
don't date.
You don't know what you want at this big age. Man, listen.
And if Apple try to add the ghost button on the next update, we gonna be seeing y'all for that check.
Yeah, we gonna have to get down on y'all with that
one.
one.
They ain't gonna do it until 2 years after Android.
Right. Here we go. Here we go, man. But again, great episode. I just want, like I said, Wash, you got anything else?
You know me. I always got to, finish up our guests with, this one question.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
This one question. If somebody out there looking, watching, and say, damn, I need to figure out what my Wisdom Wednesday is. Might not necessarily be a Wisdom Wednesday. It might not necessarily be whatever, but what would you tell them about finding that space, that passion, that purpose, their Wisdom Wednesday version of theirs have been tapping them on the shoulder? What kind of information would you give them? What kind of advice would you give that person in regards to this? Getting it done?
It starts as small as figuring out what you like versus what you love. Okay. See, I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between a talent and a gift. See, there's a fine line between the two, right? See, talents are things that we like because we just happen to be good at them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But a gift is something that we are passionate about.
Yes.
That is something that we love. That is something that we desire. That is something that brings joy.
Okay.
And not just happiness to us, right?
Yeah.
So I would tell them to start there. Do you know what you like versus what you love? And a lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
Hey,
a lot of people don't know that.
That's true.
Like if you break it down as simple as like sports, right? You get kids that are good at multiple sports, but they only love one.
Yes.
They only love one.
Yes.
So if you're able to decipher what you love versus what you like, you are beginning in the direction of finding your purpose. And that's what I would tell them.
And there you have it. Hey.
And there you have it.
Smooth criminal.
And if it's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? The ghost button.
The ghost button. Hey man, we thank you all for watching. We appreciate you. If you made it this far, you are a trooper. And if you skipped to this part, go back and watch the rest.
Right.
But again, man, I'm gonna leave you all with this. Hey, find triumph in your trials, find victory in the things that you do. Whether you are succeeding, whether you are failing, don't give up. Because the greatest failure is giving up. Never stop trying. Y'all stay blessed.
Peace.
Peace.